Yeah, well, I think one of the key issues actually is the level of freedom when you get to university. So you leave a structured environment where there's someone kind of telling you, now's the next thing that you need to do. You need to do your revision, you need to prepare for these examinations. And then when you go into higher education, there's a lot more space and freedom. And some students struggle if they don't have that structure. And so one of the things that we do at our university and other universities in the UK is actually try to create a structure for those students so they don't get lost when they come. So that's a big challenge. And I think that the kind of study can be a challenge. We like students to be self-directed. We like them to go away and read books of their own volition rather than us telling them you have to read this reading list. Inform their own understanding of the subject. And many students do that, but not all students do that. So that can be a bit of a shock to students. We admit students from around the globe, and we see lots of different educational curricula, lots of different patterns of qualifications. So we do use SAT, but it's not the only one that we use. And we have a holistic admissions process where we look at academic profile, so how you performed to date, but we also try to look at potential. So we have our own assessments, which are designed to test your subject knowledge and your thinking skills. And we have an interview process which tests your aptitude for the subject and how you cope with problems. And we look at all of those things together. So SAT really helps us to get a sense of a student's academic background and where they stand in relation to other students. But it's one element in a bigger process for us. Okay. The things that I worry about, that students worry about, is one, students get really hung up on college choice. And yes, there are 29 colleges, there are lots to choose from, but actually they're more alike than they are different. And if you ask any student at Cambridge which is the best college, they'll say it's the one they're at. But students really worry about it. When students apply to the university, what we're really looking for is evidence of the kind of independent research I was talking about a moment ago. So we really want to see that in an application. And I think that many students come to the university thinking that we're just going to give them information which they then repeat later on. But we're looking for people with that kind of background. So that's quite an important dimension to us as well. Great application. I think it depends a lot on the context. So it depends what's a good application for one subject may not be a good application for another subject. But what we're really looking for is someone who demonstrates that they've got a real passion and engagement with their subject. And lots of applications look very similar because people say the same things. But if you read around your subject and you engage in your subject in different ways outside of school, then your application comes to life. So my advice is, if you want to prepare a good application, don't just rely on what you've done in school. Read around your subject, go and look at things, enhance your learning outside of school, and then your application really comes to life. Yeah, we operate a gathered field. So we look at every applicant individually, and then we look at every applicant in relation to everyone else who's applied that year. And that enables us to select the students that demonstrate the best ability and potential. Our applicant field is very strong. Most of the students who apply to us each year will get the grades that we require, so we need other information to decide whether or not we should make them an offer. That's where the assessments and where the interviews come into play. But we do also try to look at a candidate's background. So what opportunities were available to them, what resources were available to them, and how might that have affected their academic journey. So we build all of those things into the admissions process, and then we're able to take a decision. But it's a very granular process.